essentially, he's just ranting, saying, "Well, it's stupid. It's a bad program, even though it's incredibly popular and 65 million people depend on it. Right? 10 million people would be out on the street without it. A lot of disabled people would be in really dire trouble. But yeah, horrible program. Horrible.
Yep, we hate that. I've been paying into it almost 40 years. I haven't paid into it 40 years. You can keep all that. I'll still come out ahead in the next 20 years. Not putting money in a stupid thing. Just putting that amount of money, the amount of money you robbed from me in my... What is he talking about? Oh my God, I can't even. Just keep going.
Wait.
Like, what is he even? I don't know. I don't want to know what he's talking about. I don't know.
He's saying if I had just taken the money and invested it, that would have been better.
What he's saying.
But then he's saying that the Social Security tax is money you robbed from me, you stole from me, right? Yeah, I would have.
If you never give it to me, I'm still going to come out ahead. That's not even saying he went and invested it on his own. He's just like saying like if I just like burn it or something, and I'm going to come out ahead. I don't understand.
No, he's saying if he had kept the money and invested it, he'd have come out ahead.
I don't think that's what he said.
It depends.
Nonsense.
If you're living in his fantasy world of 12%, then yeah, he would have crushed this. But
okay, and I love that you're trying to make whatever the hell just came out of his mouth sound logical, but like he literally did not say that. He didn't even say anything that made sense.
No. What you need to understand is, and I'm just going to say this bluntly, I'm not saying it to be insulting or mean, Dave doesn't like poor people. He doesn't like lower income people. That's what it is. You should be able to save it and do it on your own. Because here's a program.
He's not going to lie. I wonder if I'm going to be blocked from him on Twitter by that.
I don't care. Well, I'm sorry about you. I mean, I don't care.
No. I have to say, I have not yet been offensive enough to have been blocked on Twitter by the Ramsey Solutions people, and I'm just wondering if I'm hitting that yet.
No, it's the same as when Paul Ryan was Mitt Romney's vice presidential pick. In the last several months of that campaign, they cut Paul Ryan. He couldn't talk to the press. They completely bunkered him. And the reason is because they said the problem with Paul is Paul hates lower income and poor people. He's that kind of conservative. Mitt Romney's more of like a moderate conservative. I still think Mitt Romney's terrible, but in comparison to Paul Ryan or Dave Ramsey, I would prefer Mitt Romney. Because Obamacare,
Whatever. Okay.
That's when you're voting.
It's a funny statement, sure.
Yeah, but when you're voting, you have to pick the lesser of the evils, right? I mean, if it's like,
but I mean, yeah, it's kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like, we got two guys, that we're voting for, and they're both genocidal maniacs, but one guy says I want more death camps, and one guy says I'm going to reduce the death camps. Then I got to vote for the guy that reduces the death camps. I don't like either guy, but I got to go with what the lesser of two evils is, right?
Right.
If it was between Mitt Romney and Dave Ramsey, I'm like, I'll hold my nose and and vote for Mitt.
Oh, you froze, or I froze. We froze.
Yeah. Sorry.
We froze, I froze.
No, but I'd vote for Mitt if I had to. But my point is that's the problem here. This is what was so funny. The Social Security stuff. It's terrible. It's horrible. We got to get rid of it. Ignores the fact that millions of people would be destitute without it. And that it's the most reliable program. I mean, it's been incredibly reliable for over 80 years. It always pays out. People have lived better lives. We don't have old people dying in the streets. Right? At least not to the level we should have without it, right? It's the same thing with student loans. Doesn't like the student loan debt relief. Doesn't like student loans, period. Thinks we should just get rid of them. Well, then how are lower class kids going to go to school? We would not have been able to go to school. He didn't want us to be educated. And I can see why now, because here I am spitting in his face. So, of course, he didn't want us to be educated, but he had no problem sending his 3 kids to school.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Anything that benefits, right, society as a whole in the bottom 50%, he doesn't like it. Because he believes in a hierarchy. He believes some people are better than others and should get better treatment. That's the conservative principle. That's what he believes. And that's what he's ranting about now. And the beauty of it is he's stuck in this bubble in his little 143-acre compound surrounded by his sycophants and everybody who loves him, that he can just spout nonsense and nobody bothers to correct him. Which is why this is so easy every time we do this. Every time we play him, he demonstrably says things that we know are wrong, can prove are wrong. He didn't do the basic math. He doesn't understand what he's talking about. But nobody there will tell him any different. Right? And we keep asking about that. It's like, dude, you've got hundreds of millions of dollars and 1,000 employees. You probably got 12 people with you there in the studio, and nobody can Google this? I can do it in 2 minutes with no budget. And he can't do it? Why? Because nobody will tell him otherwise. Nope, Dave, you're right. You're perfect. It's all great. And that's the beauty of all these clips we've done. I didn't go and watch the whole episode and clip these out. His people clipped these out and put them on YouTube without fact-checking or anything, thinking he looks smart. Nobody even bothered. I didn't clip this. This showed up in my feed. Because I subscribed to Dave Ramsey because I want to see what's going on. Yeah. I didn't have to hunt this down. This just showed up. They advertised this. And he's been wrong. The guy couldn't collect Social Security. No, the investment is not a safe investment. And it doesn't work the way he says it works. He says, like I said, it's funny because he says, every clip I see, he says something that's demonstrably stupid or wrong. And you can prove it every time. And yet they keep clipping him. I mean, they live in a bubble, I swear. No facts get in. Dave's the golden calf, and whatever comes out of his mouth is...
Clip? Seriously? Okay.
What was that?
I said, oh my God, is there more of this clip? Seriously?
Yeah, I want to get one more part out because this is really good.
All right, let's read the fuck up.
For this broken, screwed up mathematical disaster. See, that wasn't even sarcasm. That's just calling it out. I could take the amount of money I'm going to pay in where you're ripping me off, put that in a mutual fund, and I would have more income than I will have having paid in and gave up the whole 40 years. You guys can just keep that because your program's so freaking awesome. You can just keep it. That's the math. It sucks that bad. Only the federal government could talk you people into doing this, and you just like a bunch of sheep. Let's just take it out of my check. And it's just, golly, man. We all just love it. And God forbid that the Democrats and the Republicans ever tinker with this broken freaking system. Oh, your grandmother's going to starve. And it's good.
See? So he's all for cut Social Security. Say it again.
I feel like he was just like mooing at us. I don't know what was happening.
I know. Like I said, golden calf. Moo. He's a Christian. Hopefully he gets that reference. Oh, man. But anyway, so here's the deal. Only the United... Yeah. Only the United States, right, would do this, right? Only Americans are stupid enough to do social. See, he's all for cutting it. Everything we talked about earlier, he's all for Rick Scott and Ron Johnson. Let's cut it. Let's just get rid of it. It's terrible, right? Let the poor people be poor and starve. Let the lower income people die. Whatever. I don't care. Right? Let them eat cake. And only in America would we be stupid enough to do this, right? Let me throw one last fun fact out there. There are 195 sovereign countries in the world. Okay? On Earth today. Over 170 of them have a Social Security program. And most of them, well, not most of them, but a lot of them pay better than ours. And those countries have less poverty, less suicide, less crime. So, yeah, let's just get rid of it. Because only in America. So once again, he doesn't even know anything. He thinks that America is the only country that has Social Security. When almost every country does. He doesn't understand how it works, and yet he's going to lecture about it. And his team of producers, they'll clip it and put it on YouTube and go, yeah, see, Dave knows what he's talking about. And nobody wants to tell him any different because he's so freaking rich. So, anyway.